There you go, recording in progress.
Here we go. So welcome everybody to this short video testimonial with me, Paul Garrigan, and one of my brothers, Darren Houghton. Darren, thank you for joining us, mate, for this testimonial and to share your experience, mate.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Thank you, brother. Okay, mate, so, as spoken to you, mate, a little bit earlier, if you'd like to share with us what, why you signed up really, Darren, to Men's Inner Mastery Academy, mate.
Yeah, so bit of a mad one, really. I felt like before I joined in Men's Inner Mastery, I was sort of, watching a few podcasts on self-development. I was reading a few books. I'd started my own little practices. I've done a little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation. And I've been following you, Paul, for quite some time. So I knew what type of work you were doing. I was sort of always attracted to what you were doing. I was always like, I used to look at you and think, wow, powerful stuff, what he's doing. And then one night you just dropped me a little message, I think, before your course started, and you told me about Men's Inner Mastery. And obviously you asked me, did I want to join? And at first, you're always like a little bit, should I, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
And you were quite good. You put the question to me, if not now, when? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to be joining this course, and it's going to be an investment in myself.
Yeah.
And then I thought, how can I lose if it's an investment in myself? So that's what got me. That's what got me to join. And I knew a little bit about what you were doing, Paul. So yeah, I was curious, mate, and I wanted to. I really wanted to give it a shot, like, because I knew it would be good, as it was an investment in myself.
Yeah, amazing, brother, amazing, mate. So obviously, mate, from joining, and then when you come inside Men's Inner Mastery Academy, for a lot of men, mate, there's a little bit of nerves, there's a little bit of uncertainty, in taking that jump. What would you say for you, Darren, that it's like inside Men's Inner Mastery Academy, mate, once you're in? Once you're on the calls, once you're doing the retreats, once you're, becoming a part, mate, of the community and the alliance of men that we build in there.
Yeah, so for me, Paul, I've always been a little bit introverted. I am being like the most, like, sometimes I've lacked a little bit of confidence, and always sort of like never wanted to be like, the brightest or the loudest in the room. I've always been a bit introverted. So when I first joined, obviously we joined the WhatsApp group, and everyone's dead welcome and polite and all that, and if that felt great when I joined the WhatsApp group. But then when we had a retreat, like a 2-day workshop retreat, and to be honest with you, when I first got there, when I first walked in, it was a little bit intimidating, like, and asked us all to check in and say our name and stuff, and I felt a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But all the men in there were great, and made me feel comfortable. And once I'd stepped out my comfort zone and done something that felt a little bit uncomfortable, I felt great after it, and it ended up being one of the best 2 days in my life, that workshop. So
Yeah.
there was a mixed bag of emotions there, mate, but I was really pleased with how it went and how I felt afterwards.
Yeah, amazing, mate. And I think that's the big thing for me, Darren, is sometimes, I know full well, mate, as men, we grow when we get uncomfortable, we grow in challenge. And that's probably the biggest hurdle you'll ever overcome, mate. And one of the hardest things sometimes for us as men is speaking our name in front of other people, is being seen, is being heard by other people. Maybe we sort of close up and don't like the light shined on us. But I feel, mate, like, it's a really safe space that's created. And the community, mate, that we build, I'm pretty sure for every man, mate, after that first initial share, everything just begins to flow from there, doesn't it?
Not half, mate. Yeah, it was like the energy, mate, and the air in the room, mate. It was just a special type of energy, mate. Once we got going, yeah.
Powerful, mate. Thank you, Darren, for that. So looking at obviously your journey then, mate, over the past couple of months, what would you say it has been, the biggest changes you've seen within yourself?
Yeah, so I'd say the biggest changes, Paul, I've seen in myself since I started Men's Inner Mastery. So there's a couple of things. firstly, I'd like to say I've loved like becoming friends with some of the men on the group. I know all the men on the group, but I've met up with a couple of them when we've gone for walks down the beach and stuff. That's been brilliant, Secondly, some of the practices that you've shared since I've been on the course. If I wasn't part of this group, I'd have probably shied away from them and just done them now and again. But I feel like being part of Men's Inner there's a commitment. There's a commitment to show up and do the practices, and I feel like they're helping me massively. And I feel like I'm building a bit of self discipline as well. Also, mate, it's making me really, since I've joined Men's Inner it's really got me thinking about my vision in life. Like where I really want to go and where I want to put my energy and attention. So yeah, mate, I've felt myself growing massively, and I've actually one of the lads out the gym and training said to me a couple of days ago. He said to me the change that I'm not just like I'm not bigging anything up. He just said he's noticed a massive change in me the last few months. And I think a lot of that's to do with being part of Men's Inner. So I just feel like I'm on the right trajectory now.
Yeah, mate, that's so powerful, Darren. Really, I think your journey, mate, that you've been on, I think being a part of a community of men and an alliance of men, mate, that you are, it's not men that you find on every corner, mate. Like, these are men who are all striving to be the very best version of themselves, mate. There's a certain standard of man within the group that's pushing to be excellent at what they do in life and in different areas of life, if you like, Darren. And it can't, for me, it can't not help a man elevate in certain areas of his life and in what he's looking for. And I think, it's an opportunity, mate, for you to step into that and to embody that, mate, and to receive what what the world's seeing in you, Darren. For me, mate, that's what it's all about, standing in your light. And when you're standing in your light, mate, you look lit up, and other people see that, mate. And sometimes, they say, what have you been up to? You look amazing. And sometimes they want a piece of that cake, mate, as well, because you have this glow about you, brother. So, massive that, mate. Love it. Love that share.
Sorry, Paul, can I just add as well? I forgot to mention that being part of Men's Inner Mastery, what I've loved as well, what's been really powerful for me, mate, is the shares that the men share, when they're being vulnerable and say like they're having a shit day or a bad day. I love the fact that like men on this group are not afraid to share that and put it out there. I feel like that for me, mate, is absolutely massive. You know what I mean? I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I agree, brother. Something that we're big on, mate, is connecting, is checking in, is getting mentally into their edge of vulnerability. We don't just speak about wins, we speak about our losses, we speak about our challenges, we speak about the things that we perceive as negative in our lives and how we can learn from that, mate. So it's very much like an open space for men to, to level up really and to take the life to the next level, mate. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Darren, as well. So, wrapping this up then, Darren, and, speaking your truth fully, mate, what would you say, to any man who's watching this, who's maybe thinking or, dipped the toe in self-development or thought they've done loads of self-development or is just interested in being a better man and being the best version of themselves, who's maybe sitting on the fence, who's looking at it from afar, what would you say to that man, Darren?
Do you know what, Paul? It's like, I'm not just saying this, but it's. I wasn't sure at first. I was a little bit hesitant to join Men's Inner Mastery, but now looking back, for me, mate, it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And I'm 43 now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So off the back of that, mate, I would say to any men who are listening to this, if you're curious, you're just curious about life and you're looking for some, deeper answers, or you just, you might be in a bit of a place where you feel like you're on your knees and, you've got no one around you to support you. Or you might be in a position where you just want to, reach the very best version of yourself. I feel like Men's Inner Mastery, it covers so many different aspects. Do you know what I mean? It's not like just one dimension. So I feel like for me, Paul, it applies to a lot of men. But I would say just, if you're looking at this video and you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure, just do it, and I promise you, you will. Well, I personally, mate, I'll never regret joining this group. It's like I say, it's one of the best things I've ever done, and it took for me. this journey's only just started, and I feel absolutely incredible, mate, at the minute.
Yeah, yeah, amazing, brother, amazing. Honestly, I think now I always like to ask that question, Darren, because I remember being that man myself, mate. You know, a long time ago, you know, worried about walking into a room, worried about being judged, worried about what other people think. Half thinking this type of work was for hippies, or you know, or men who were a bit weird, or this was a cult. And it couldn't be any further from the truth, mate. You know, we're actually breaking out of the cult and creating a new culture of men, mate, to you know, to forge a new path, mate, in the world for men and for masculinity, and you know, being leaders, mate, in the world. Which you know you're absolutely doing, brother. So massive thank you, Darren, for your words, mate, for joining me and your time, and your energy. And excited, mate, for 2025 with Men's Inner Mastery. With you being a big part of what we're doing, brother. So massive thank you for joining me, mate.
Yeah, pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.